going to be talking about mental health. We just really want to get into it. And I have a question for you guys. What is mental health? What do you guys think mental health is?
I feel like mental health, it affects a big part of your emotional, your psychological, and social well-being. It affects how someone acts.
Yeah.
And it also affects how we feel, and it determines how we handle our stress, how we relate to others, and what decisions we choose to make within, our realms.
Some causes of mental health are child abuse, trauma, or neglect, social isolation or loneliness, and then poverty.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time it definitely starts within the home,
Definitely.
It definitely starts from when they're babies, A lot of the time parents don't know how to be parents, and because of that, it affects the child in such a way when they're growing up. Some kids grow up and they don't know how to be social because their parents never really talked to them like as another human. They looked at them like as a just as somebody they had to take care of,
Mm-hmm.
so like a leech type of thing,
Yeah.
instead of actually treating them like a human. Sometimes that does, bring up mental health, like it does cause like disorders and anxiety disorders.
So, when should you seek help? Someone should seek help as soon as possible because it can become more severe as you get older.
Yeah.
So as soon as possible.
Yeah, it definitely takes a lot of courage to acknowledge that you need help. I feel like a lot of people don't take the step in wanting to get help because they're scared. But there's always, resources. There's your friends, your family. There's, the anonymous tip lines and stuff like that. But it really just begins with wanting to get help first.
Definitely. How is mental health treated? No, go ahead.
It can be treated by tests and seeing a physician. A therapist.
Yeah. It can also be treated by taking medications, going to support groups, and peer support, talking to your peers, people around you.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, going back to the whole product of your environment, back when I was in high school, I was in a psychology class that stated that we are not products of our environment. So I just want to have your guys' intake on that, like, with the mental health thing. Like, do you guys think we are products of our environment or not?
I think we are 100%. I feel like you eventually become who you're surrounded by.
Right.
Yeah.
Eventually,
Okay.
I think that's why our social groups are like very important from kindergarten.
I guess it falls in line with what like our parents say, like you are who you hang around with.
Yeah,
type thing. So
yeah. I feel like that it's also like sometimes you're not who you hang around with, but eventually you become who you hang around with. You know, at first maybe you may not be that, but eventually, So
it takes a lot of persuasion, I would say, maybe to.
Yeah.
So would it be safe to say that we are who has taught us, like our parents, because they teach us these things?
Yeah, no,
Almost.
we are definitely what our parents teach us from a certain point. Because I think once we start going to school, we start learning things from different people now. It's a different perspective. So a short break, guys. Our dean from our college came. We just want to ask her a quick question.
Hi everyone, it's Sarah Morales, Academic Dean of sjvc Lancaster. Thanks for having me on your podcast.
Amazing. And I just want to ask you a quick question. How does your mental health affect your lifestyle?
Just like your physical health would affect your lifestyle. You can't pour from an empty cup. And being in healthcare, you're pouring into so many other people. If your cup is empty, you have nothing to offer them. So that applies to your friends, your family, your patients, your academics, everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
was
That was
good.
good.
That was
That
good.
was so
I know.
good.
Anything else, you guys?
So just like, you know, if you have a diabetic and they took too much insulin, their blood sugar's low, or you have somebody who has epilepsy and they're having seizures, like you can expect that to impact their performance. You can expect that to impact their academic performance or their relationship with friends or their just ability to work out or make their bed, for that matter.
It's true.
And mental health is no different.
That's true. No,
Yeah, it is true.
It does affect you.
What else?
Question.
Oh, that was so dorky.
Actually,
Better cut that out.
You should ask her the question that you just asked all of us.
Me? Oh, would you say that mental health would be like us becoming a product of our environment? Like as a young kid, we surround ourselves by our parents and all that, obviously, because I took a psychology class in high school and my teacher was very much saying we are not products of our environment. So
Do you think we are?
I do. I think we are, but I think we shouldn't be. So I think as adults, I definitely think this day and age we're steering away from just experiencing the cards that we're dealt, right? So now we're taking more control over what we're responsible for. We're taking more control over our output, our attitude, our engagement. And we're doing it with the intention of not being like our mom or not being like our grandma. And so I think we are a product of it, but there's just more of a focus on not doing it now.
more
Which
so
is the goal.
evolution, right?
Yeah, definitely. We're aware of it, and we're aware of it because we've seen how that impacted us, right? How our parents or how whoever raised us, or maybe a teacher or the friends we were around, we've seen the negative consequences of that, or maybe positive, and then we've decided to take what we want from that and make it our own. So we don't have to be, but I definitely think naturally we are.
We are. Yeah.
It just takes more work to change that.
100%.
It does.
Have to break, what do they call it? Break cycles.
Yes,
Mhm.
generational. Yes, I get it.
Generational curses are a thing.
Very
And
much.
it takes so much work to break away from those, but you have to, for your own sake and for the sake of everyone after you.
Yeah.
All right, thanks for having me.
Thank you.
for
Thank
coming.
you.
Tag me. Bye, ladies.
Thank you. Bye. So definitely to add on to what she was saying, yeah, we are products of our environment, but if we choose to not be, we won't be. If you choose to be your own person, to follow your own way, I think you could definitely not be a product of your own environment.
Yeah.
So
Like she said, you have to break the cycle.
exactly, yeah. You don't have to be the same as your parents, you know?
So it just all starts from you.
Yeah.
And you wanting to change.
For sure. So for our final question is, how can you help yourself? How can you treat yourself out of a mental disorder? What are ways to cope?
Surrounding yourself by better people. Your friend group has like a big part of that. If they're making bad decisions, you're gonna do that, and it could not be the person you are. So I definitely feel like it's the people you surround yourself with.
100%. There's also the National Suicide Prevention Line. You could dial 1-800-273-8255 if you ever feel the need to just get anything off of your chest and just talk to somebody.
Yes. Repeat that number one more time.
It would be 1-800-273-8255.
Don't be afraid.
Yeah. Speak up. Just know that when you do, somebody will help you as long as you talk to the right person and you know who you're going to. Definitely, if you need that help, call the prevention line. And that's our mental health podcast.
And most importantly, don't forget that you are loved.
Yes, you do have people in your corner.